Hello everybody. Today we're going to be talking about how to read a financial aid award letter. Either online or on paper, it can be pretty confusing. So I'm going to show you some examples, and then hopefully by looking at that you can read yours.
Okay, so let's start with defining what an award letter is. A college award letter is the financial aid offer that's sent to you, and what you get this form after you admit and complete either the FAFSA or the California Dream Act application. The colleges will post these by the end of March typically, but hopefully not later than May 1st, which is when you need to make your decision of where you are going. You'll receive these either through your college portal or by mail, or sometimes both, and they will contain, or they should contain, your estimated cost of attendance, your grant aid, your campus scholarships, your loan offers, and your work-study program amounts. So here's an example of a college website portal. This one is from Cal State Fullerton. Every student is supposed to create a portal after they apply, and they can access their financial aid award information. If you see the red arrow there, that's where financial aid is on the bottom. This is pretty typical for every Cal State, so they should be able to check this, and you should check it on a regular basis. Okay, so let's look first at the Cal State award letters. The Cal State Chancellor's Office attempted to have everyone use a standardized format, but not every school will. You'll see, though, that most do. So it comes in two parts. They talk about the cost of the school and then the financial aid awarded. So you'll see here the budget on the bottom of the form, and this is a standardized budget. There'll be some differences for each campus. Okay, let's look at Cal State Fullerton. This is an actual award letter. You'll see here that they have the total for the term, which is semester, and I circled and underlined the room and board. Why is this important? Because you can see here that the money that was allotted equals a little over $5,000. Now, if you know anything about room and board at a college, it's usually around $15,000 in California. So what is the point here? They gave an amount for someone who is living with their parents. That is the way they budget at Cal State Fullerton. So just be aware of that. Okay, here's a pretty typical award letter for a Cal State LA student who is high need. You can see by the fact that they got a supplemental grant and a Pell Grant that this is a low-income student. But there's something missing, so I wanted to be sure you could see that nothing there says state grant or Cal Grant. That's important. Something's missing, you need to ask for it, so be sure that you do so. If you don't see work study, ask for it, because some schools require that. Just be sure that you don't leave things on the table. Okay, so on to the UC award letter. These are easier to read because in general, they will include both the estimated cost and the financial aid options together. So just know that the estimated cost is an average, but they give you a good budget, and you really may need less. So let's take a look and see what we see. Okay, so let's look at a UCLA award letter. There are different styles. This one is called the shopping sheet, and it's an option that you can choose. So it lays it all out for you. You've got the estimated cost of attendance, and then you have your awards broken down into your grants, your work study, and your loans. So looking at the top there, you see I made some circles, and those circles are on the things that are not exact. They are limited amounts. So basically, you can have more or less. Most likely, this is what I would call a generous budget, and you actually are able to get by with less. Look at the cost of transportation. If you're going to UCLA from LA, you don't need that much. And as far as books and housing, a lot of times you can choose a cheaper meal plan, a cheaper dorm, or you can choose for books to rent them rather than buy. So just know that this is an estimate, but you may not need that much actual cash. So look at your costs that don't change, which is tuition and the housing amount that you are going to definitely choose according to the dorm that you choose and your number of roommates. And then the others, just know that you'll need more, but they will be varying amounts. Okay, so here is a UC San Diego award letter. You'll see that this is written in a slightly different style. You have here also a different amount for transportation. It is actually much less than UCLA, which is interesting because if you're coming from LA, it obviously is farther. But this really also goes to show you how colleges choose to create their own budget. Other educational costs that could include health insurance. Just know that if you have a current health insurance policy with your parents or you have Medi-Cal, you can get the health fee waived. If not, you'll need it. But just know that there is that option. Also, this will show all your grants. It'll show your net costs. It'll show you how you can pay them. And you'll notice on this award, there's something called a Perkins loan. Loans are a whole nother topic. They're complicated. But just know that loans come as the direct loan and also the Perkins. The Perkins has the lowest fixed interest rate and is the most forgivable loan if you enter any of the careers that you can use for loan forgiveness, which again, another complicated topic we'll talk about later. So just know that the UC letters are pretty easy to read. Okay, let's look at a private college just for comparison. I've got a couple here. This is Wellesley College. It is in Massachusetts, and this is a full offer. However, you will see that for this student, they are being asked for a student contribution. Now, since this is a no-loan school, if the student did not have a summer job or a scholarship or any way to make that contribution and their parents were not able to write a check, just know that they can take out a federal direct loan for $2,000 and pay it that way. Although, again, that is for the total cost. And if you were to look at Wellesley College's expenses, you'd see that there's a great possibility that you can make it through the year without that contribution at all. So just keep the total cost versus direct cost in mind. Okay, here's a high-class college. Let's look at Princeton University. Now here's why this one is so interesting. This student was not eligible to apply for the FAFSA or any undocumented scholarships because she wasn't undocumented. She was here on a visa. It was legal, but because she was seen as a guest, she's applying as an international student and she's not eligible for anything. UCLA basically said, you can come, but we give you zero, not even work study. So obviously that didn't work for her. But Princeton looks at international students the same as American. So for a middle-class student, she's ending up with a net price of $4,000. And not only that, it's telling her that if she needs to get the health plan, they will give her more grant money. So looking for a generous school, if you're international, look at Princeton. All right, one last one. I like this one because it's a public school, but it's out of state. So if you are from California, obviously you're not going to get the same money as if you were from Massachusetts in this case. In this is a zero contribution or zero EFC for the family, but you can see that with the full Pell Grant, there's still a gap. What matters here, and you could have used the shopping sheet option if you wanted in this case, you've got a family contribution of zero, you've got an estimated need of $45,572, but they're only offering just under $38,000. So that's what you call a gap. And unfortunately, some of you are going to see that at both public and private schools. So this is a short version of looking at financial aid letters. If you still need help looking at your individual one, well, that's what a college counselor is for. Talk to yours or talk to me. But whatever you do, don't assume when it comes to financial aid. Make sure you know what you're talking about, because it's the difference between graduating or being one who puts some college on every job application for the rest of their life.